Alright, hey, what's going on, guys? So Kevin Allen is here, and today I'm here to finally do a review of the Yamaha P-515 digital piano. So I purchased this piano about 2 years ago, a little over 2 years ago, and so I've spent, I would say, a very large amount of time, in front of this digital piano, and really understand the things that I really like about it and the things that maybe aren't so great about it. So I want to go over those in this video, give you guys my impressions of this instrument after owning it for 2 years, and hopefully help you guys make a conscious purchase decision if you're in the market for such an instrument. So just by looking at it, I really love the look of this piano. I love the black wood here. I love the optional stand, the gloss optional stand here, and it just, to me, it just looks really, really neat. It looks sharp. You can see it's just a really nice looking digital piano, right? So just on the surface here, some of the buttons you have on the left here, you have your power button. So you turn it on, obviously. Press and hold it to turn it on, but you just press it to turn it off. So for example, press and hold, it turns off, but I believe if you just press it, it turns on. So that's how that works. And then you have a demo song button, so you can go through some different classics. You have demo, you have classics, and you have your songs that you created. So if I go to classics, for example, go down to, this is the first one, hit play. So you can, listen to those if you just want to have something playing or something, if someone's around, you can just put that on, which is, I guess, pretty cool. Or, like in my case, I'm learning a specific song called Arabesque that goes like this. So it's been nice for me to be able to listen to how that song actually goes. So yeah, it's cool to be able to do that. There was a note that I was playing incorrect, for example, the whole time. So listening to it, I was able to, fix that. So that's really nice. There's a record button here that lets you record stuff that you're playing and save it to that user file that we just looked at. Get out of here with exit. And then play pause, we just looked at that. There's a metronome, pretty standard. Slower the speed. Slow it down a little bit. You can also change the volume of the metronome by going here into function, and you can change the volume louder or lower there. Has some rhythm patterns in here as well, so maybe about, I think, 20 to 25 or something rhythm patterns that you can also change the beat to, or change the tempo, and you can enable or disable bass to be played with it, that's accompanying based on the key you're playing. So for example, so when you hit rhythm again, it gives you an ending, as you just heard. Tempo we talked about. Function button is basically your menu option. So you have your voice submenu on the left there. You have your song submenu, metronome, rhythm, recording system, and that's it. So you can go into each of these and make some pretty important changes, which is pretty cool. Press and hold this button enables Bluetooth MIDI mode, which we'll talk about in a moment. Of course, your navigation buttons here, exit button to get out of the screen you're currently in. Piano room lets you customize the sound of the piano that you're using. which is cool if you're into that. I'm not so much, at least not at this point, but it's nice to have to be able to get a sound just the way that you like it. And then you have your instrument buttons. Okay, you have your piano. You can cycle through piano sounds this way, or you can go left and right, just left and right. You have your CFX Grand. And you have your Bosendorfer. These to me are by far the two best sounding instruments. Happen to be pianos, of course, but best sounding instruments on this piano. I personally use the Bosendorfer a lot more. It has just a little bit more of a purposefully, muffled kind of sound that I just really like. So I love the way that sounds versus CFX Grand. CFX Grand is a little brighter. I think it's more expressive. I think CFX Grand, it has more variance depending on how you're playing, which is definitely important. So you have those, and then you have Studio Grand, which is... Then you have Bright Grand. Then you have Ballad Grand. Then you have Warm Grand. Then Pop Grand. And then Jazz Grand. And then Rock Grand. Then you have Honky Tonk. So, the only pianos that I ever use on here are CFX Grand and Bosendorfer. I never really ever use these. Sometimes maybe I'll go into jazz and have a jazz beat going because it's a little bit, it has a nicer sound for certain jazz songs that I play on here. But 9.9 times out of 10 I'm using one of these two, CFX or Bosendorfer. And Honky Tonk, of course, if I'm playing something like that, I'll use that. The stage pianos are also really great. So that's cool. And then I use DX Grand sometimes. So that's definitely a nice sound. Vintage is pretty nice as well. nice too if you want to sing something. A few stolen moments is all that we share. You've got your family and they need you there, but I try to resist being last on your list, but no other man's gonna do. So alright, you get the picture, and then you got phaser sound, which is pretty nice as well. Then DX Bright. And then you have Tremolo Vintage. Alright, so those are those. And then you have organ sounds. I'm not going to go through every single instrument. You have like 5 different organs. This is pretty cool. Then you have your harpsichord. So that's cool. Then you have the 8/4. Then you have electric, clavichord, vibraphone. You have some strings and some choir sounds. And then you have others like bass and guitar. And steel guitar, which I use a lot. So, hold function, hit other. You have a whole bunch of other sounds in here too. So XG sounds. So that's something that a lot of people didn't know. Dual split. You have this button to combine sounds together. Split sounds left and right, and then you can also use both. You can do the right side to have 2, like steel guitar and strings, and left side have bass. So that's cool as well. Sound boost EQ. I don't know what this is really. I never use it. I don't know. I guess it's just kind of on. I don't know. Type, what can you do? Type 1, type 2. I guess it's different ways, different sounds. I'm not too sure about that. And then reverb. You can change your reverb settings here. So that's sort of an overview. One of the things that I really like about this keyboard, I guess you could buy this for any, keyboard, but this is cool because when I have a camera going and I'm doing a live set and I want to be able to read something on my iPad or play something or navigate the comments or whatever, this camera here, if this was black and I had the camera either there or sometimes positioned right in front, it's going to block the keys. And so I think that's pretty dope that I can have a small phone here and maybe something else to the left and it doesn't get in the way from you guys seeing what it is that I'm playing. So I think that's really a nice touch, and I think it looks cool too, although it's clear, so I probably need to clean it sometimes. But that's neither here nor there. And also it has Bluetooth, right? So you can, what I've learned that I really like about this is you can play songs through the speakers here. So say if I had direct audio going out to like my Reddit stream or Twitch or YouTube stream, have my headphones on, I can play a popular song and vibe out to it a little bit and let my audience listen to it, like the actual song. And then say, all right, guys, I'm going to pull up the chord chart for this and I'm going to learn how to play it. And it goes to them, with direct audio, which is kind of important and kind of cool that you guys get direct audio from here through Bluetooth. This doesn't have Bluetooth MIDI. If there's one feature on this that I would have loved for it to have is Bluetooth MIDI. Reason for that is because I do a lot of producing on my iPad, so it would be really nice to be able to sit my iPad up here and I can connect it with USB-C, and I do that sometimes, but it would be really cool to be able to just play it, use this as the MIDI input for my compositions and beat making on my iPad. But that's one feature that this doesn't have that I kind of wish it did. And one thing that we didn't talk about over here on the left is a USB port, so you can export your songs that you've created via that, or you can do it like I most of the time do it by just recording with the USB Type B on the back of the digital piano. So on the back of this keyboard, I just wanted to show you guys some of the ports. So we have our power cable right over here. This is a special cable that's used for the foot pedals accessory. That's an optional accessory that I've decided to purchase. That's right down here. And then what else do we have? Aux pedal. So if you had a regular stand or something, you just wanted one pedal, you can plug that in there. You have your MIDI in, MIDI out. I've never used those before. I use this port all the time, so I'm able to get direct audio. I'm able to get direct audio out of the keyboard, which is really cool. Let's go in a little bit deeper here. There we go. I'm able to get direct audio out by connecting this to like a phone that has USB-C or connecting it to my iPad, which is really, really nice to get that direct quality. You also have your 1/4-inch jacks right over here that you can connect this to external speakers. I think the speakers on this keyboard are really, really good. I don't have any issues with the speakers, although some people, online have had things to say about that, but to each their own. And then aux in port, also a very, 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 very important for me. Sometimes I may connect my Teenage Engineering OPZ device into this and then play some, drum tracks that I have on there and improvise over it. Or maybe I'll use that as a microphone when I go live so that I can talk to people if I'm using direct audio. Like I said, the way the keyboard looks, it's a really, really nice looking, very high functional. The key, I didn't talk at all about the Keybed yet. So the way the keys feel for me, it's just amazing. It's a really nice feel to it. There's like a wooden kind of look on the top of these keys, which I like. Like when the light is hitting it, it looks like it's like high quality. There's wood on the inside of these keys, like a wood coating from what I understand. These aren't fully wooden keys, but it's like a wooden sort of coating on the inside, which is a really nice touch. And prominent Yamaha display right there. And yeah, the key travel, everything feels really good, And yeah, that's pretty much everything that I wanted to share. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you found this video useful or helpful, you can definitely consider supporting me by liking the video, dropping a comment underneath, and definitely consider subscribing if you are interested in more content like this. I'll be putting out a lot more videos and content related to the piano. I don't have too much of that on my channel right now. Mostly the piano stuff is like my live sets. So I'm excited for that, to have some dedicated tutorials and things like that for you guys. A lot of people have been asking for that. And yeah, that's where we'll leave it. So I hope you all have a wonderful rest of the day, and I will catch you guys next time, all right? Take care.